I just start with this question. I hope it won't
Indeed,
disrupt
Chair.
your probing.
Indeed.
Advocate Johnson, Colonel Padayachee said that he has never been furnished with copies of affidavits that support Section 27 referrals. He testified that all that he has ever been given, as I understood it, throughout his stay at IDEC, are oral briefings given to him by senior investigators or prosecutors. I'm not sure which one it is now. Let me outright say that that doesn't make sense at all to me. I say so because what needs to be investigated would be contained in the Section 27 referral affidavit. Why a senior prosecutor or investigator would hold back that referral affidavit simply escapes me. Did he tell us the truth with regard to this or not? Is that the practice followed at IDEC? If it is, which I would find very strange, why would there be such a practice?
As I indicated, Chair, once I have a Section 27 or it's come from Mr. Sissoko, the necessary deliberations have been made, they go to a team. So the team would have access to the Section 27 because the prosecutors...
Would investigators at the level of Colonel Padayachee be part of that team or not?
The team has different levels of investigators and prosecutors. They have to sit and deliberate on this document and to work out what investigation would have to be instituted, what the allegations would be.
I want to understand when you are talking about a team, who are you talking about? Would this, for example, include Colonel Padayachee?
That is correct. The team will have investigators. So if I take this team, it is investigators and prosecutors, both criminal and financial investigators, and he is one of the criminal investigators in that team.
And obviously, it makes practical sense as they debate issues around what needs to be investigated. It makes practical sense that the source document, which is the Section 27 referral affidavit, should be there in front of them.
In order for them to deliberate,
yes.
What are the allegations?
Yes.
Can we make out offenses?
Yes.
Is there sufficient to bring an application to the investigating director for the institution of an investigation? So I don't know why he would not have seen this one. I also heard when he testified that he said he had not had access to it. It is something I can find out, but it is not ordinary practice that no one has sight of every document. Of course, it depends on how they are working. Someone might see something, someone not. But I do not believe that there is a deliberate withholding of the documents within a team, from a team.
Would there be any reason? Colonel Padayachee mentioned the name several times of this person above him, this senior.
Chief Perumal?
I think, yes. He mentioned that name a good few times. Would there be a reason why Mr. Perumal would hold back that document?
Not at all. And from what I do recall, when the document was handed, it was handed over to one of the prosecutors so that they can go to the team. The prosecutors are the ones who usually will do the legal drafting, but that document does get shared. I did ask Chief Perumal after this testimony,
yes. and hearsay evidence is admissible here. What did he say?
He did say that he did not withhold any document. That
meaning,
Section 20,
let's be specific.
He did not withhold the Section 27 because after the deliberations happened, the 27 was kept by the prosecutor or the project manager, but there was a 27 that was in the team.
Team including, as you said.
So what I did do, Chair, because I did become confused about the issue, I then asked what other matters is Mr. Padayachee vested in? The one, so other than these crime intelligence matters, he is invested in a different investigation. That matter does not have a Section 27 because it is a matter that emanates from the State Capture Commission recommendations. So that one will not have a 27.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah, this is the one that had a 27.
Yes. All right, that makes perfect sense. I said so to him. If you say you were listening, you must have heard me. I said to him, I find it hard to believe that he would not have been furnished with a source document for it all. It just didn't make sense to me.
I understand.
Thank you.
Can I just understand this explanation? There's a difference, and that was the basis of engagement with Colonel Padayachee was him being provided, as the investigator, lead investigator, him being provided with a copy of the Section 27 referral, vis-a-vis how he explains. He says, we were briefed, we were told that there is this. Are you saying that Chief Investigator Perumal said to you that Colonel Padayachee was provided with a copy of the Section 27 referral? Is it as clear as that?
No, he said, Chief Perumal said, I didn't have the Section 27.
He said, I've never seen it. It's never provided.
It was with the prosecutor and with the project manager, because that's how they coordinate their meetings. I cannot explain why it wouldn't have been shared in that space, because that is where they have to sit, commissioners, and deliberate. All documents do get shared with the team members, because how do you do your taskings and activities when people do not have sight of documents?
I'm not sure what you're saying. Chief Investigator Perumal said to you, did he say to you that the lead investigator was provided with a copy of the Section 27 referral?
He said to me he didn't have the Section 27 referral.
Okay.
Because that is what was testified to, that Chief Perumal had it, and it was not given to me.
Okay.
Chief Perumal says, I did not have that document. That document was with the prosecutor.
Okay.
And we don't know if the prosecutor, in turn, shared it
I see.
with Mr. Padayachee.
That clarifies it. Thank you.
So what does this mean exactly? I guess no clar Diermekar. What does this mean? Even Mr. Perumal never had sight of that document. What exactly does this mean?
I'd have to clarify. I asked if he had the document. He didn't have the document. I'm sure he should have had sight of the document.
You see the difficulty.
I'm giving a report.
Yeah, the difficulty with that is that he might have been referring to a specific point in time, and that he did not have the document at that point. I'm not sure that answers the question. Had he ever had it in his possession at any point whatsoever? Did you get to that point or not in your discussion?
Not in my discussion, but I will revert to that answer because I do believe it is important.
Yeah, let me tell you what my difficulty is with it. So the prosecutor has it. That is Mr. Perumal, does not have it and has never had it. And then he, according to Mr. Padayachee, gives an oral briefing to Mr. Padayachee. So Mr. Padayachee then goes ahead and investigates. He has not seen the source document. Mr. Perumal gives this oral briefing. He has not seen the source document. That's just very, very strange to me. And yet something very serious, which is an investigation, is going to commence. And yet the two people involved right at the tail end, before the investigation actually starts, have not seen the source document. I find it very difficult to comprehend any of this. Do you wish to comment on that?
I'd rather give you a clear answer after engagement. I don't want to give you an answer because I wasn't in that space at the time of their deliberations.
But that was the substance of my engagement with Mr. Padayachee, and seeing that you asked some questions, well, maybe I should not blame you, but your engagement does not seem to have covered the essence or the substance of the issue I was covering with Colonel Padayachee.
Advocate Johnson, from a different angle, I understood from Colonel Padayachee that it is you who designates an investigator to handle a particular case. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So the starting point is the Section 27 affidavit, the referral. At that stage, the investigator does not have anything else because the investigation has not commenced. So when you designate him to start the investigation, what then do you give him?
Chair, at the time the designation happens, the team would have gone through the Section 27 document, and they would have come up with an application setting out what they see as suspected offenses, who might be implicated, and what kind of investigation, if they are able to at that stage identify, must be conducted. It's an application and sets out a summary of the facts as well that would then support the application. They, in turn, as part of the designation, they put down the names of the persons who will form part of that team to conduct the investigation and the prosecution. That is the designation I sign, together with the Section 28 authorization. So what they then have, Commissioner Khumalo, is an authorization setting out offenses and allegations, persons to be investigated, perhaps resources required, a summary of facts, and this is what they need to go and do. They then take that and they are able to then sit amongst themselves and operationalize this document in terms of what is the work that needs to be done. They get the authority to investigate based on what they have identified arising from the Section 27.
And then let me ask you this. From that stage, when you accept the application or you approve it, until the 25th of June in 2025, when you write to the DPP saying you want people to be charged, at no stage during that process do you satisfy yourself that your investigator has seen the Section 27 referral. So you now, as head of IDEC, at no stage do you satisfy yourself that the person on whose affidavit you are relying to bring these charges, on whose affidavit you are relying to ask for a warrant of arrest, you now, as Advocate Johnson, at no stage do you satisfy yourself that he has seen the Section 27 referral?
I do not ask that question because it is given to the team. And I work, and Commissioner Khumalo might say to me, but incorrectly so, I work on the assumption that once all documents, approvals, and authorities are given to the team accesses it all. They share it because they have to sit, they have to do the planning, they have to work out what needs to be done. So, short of someone raising a complaint or escalating to my office that in this team, I am not getting access to documents, I will not be aware that these documents that are given are not shared.
Not even a red flag that it is not part of the docket or it is not part of the documents that are given to you for the purposes of finalizing the note to the DPP. I know they would not have brought it to your attention, but you are now the final decision maker at IDEC. it doesn't raise a red flag that this document is not referred to. My investigator does not say anywhere in his affidavit that he has studied the referral or he has had sight of the referral. Is it not something that you consider at all?
What is considered for that prosecution memo is the evidence that was collected as a result of the Section 28. I have to concentrate on the evidence, the law, and I put together a prosecution memo that deals with evidence and the law, and therefore the charges and what must be enrolled.
I'm aware of
Will you be asking questions around the what intake committee at some point? I don't want to get there if you will be, but in any event, I'm not getting there now.
I was headed there,
Yes,
and,
all
and
right.
in light of what the witness said this morning,
all right.
when she was informed of what was Colonel Padayachee's
Yes.
testimony before the
Okay,
commission.
okay.
Before I do so, however, for 2 minutes, I hope, just to clarify two issues with the witness. The first is you keep referencing the team, and that the team would have considered the Section 27. Can you perhaps assist us? How does the team come into being? It's not a permanent team, I take it. It's a team that is constituted for purposes of investigation and maybe subsequent prosecution. Perhaps if you just clarify who constitutes the team, under what circumstances does that happen, and whether it is following a consideration by the Section 27 affidavit and authorization by the ID in terms of Section 28.
So, as the structure of the office stands, there are pre-existing teams. It's just for purposes of being able to logistically run the office. So there are standing teams that fall under the leadership of a Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions. And that team will have a Chief Financial Investigator, financial investigators, criminal investigators, commissioners. Each team has a project manager. And then they also have data analysts allocated as and when. Now, they are standing teams because we have so many DDPPs. And what has happened over time is you find that certain teams work well on certain matters and you build that expertise. As an example, we would have a matter where the Transnet matters are dealt with. Almost all Transnet matters get dealt with within that team. It therefore makes it easier to allocate matters of a similar nature to that specific team when they come in. However, it may be that that team is up to taking the Adams 27, if we can call it that, but they are already overstretched with court matters and their investigations. We then look to the office to see where can we best allocate this matter. Mr. Sissoko and I will have a conversation. It also talks to the allocation of work, which team might have a little less than another team, but there's also expertise. So you look at the seniority of especially the criminal and the financial investigators and the advocates, and then you assign the matter there, and then these processes run.
Okay.
Ms. Silo, I'm made to understand that at some point you indicated that we should adjourn at 4. I don't know whether the information I'm getting is correct.
The information you're getting, Chair, it is correct. I do note is 1607, and I stand by what I indicated. But before I do so, may I just place two matters on record. This morning, we started with subpoenas issued by the Commission to IDEC, and Mr. Borani addressed you, Commissioners, about the status of the documents requested. Just to confirm that these have started trickling in, and we will update the exhibit files by tomorrow overnight. In the meantime, just to confirm that we too in the interim have added 2 other annexed exhibits, CJC 387 and 388, and have provided Ms. Johnson and her legal team with those exhibits. And once again, your exhibit files will be updated. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. We will adjourn and resume at 9:30 tomorrow morning. Let us adjourn.
Thank you.